subject themselves to probing. If you are holding a public office, know that you must be accountable to the people. If you that is probing today, when your own time come or a call come for you to be probed, also subject yourself to that probing so that Nigeria we know whatever happened in public offices.
All right, Dr. C.A.J. Chinwo.
Well, my problem is that this governor preempted the probe. You punished the man, you removed him, replaced him. Now you're talking about the probe. And you see, that is why let us just learn to be subject to the law. If you had waited for that probe, and
the result of the probe,
then say remove him. But now you have removed the man, punished him, even banished him out of the state. So on what basis now? How will you invite him? Who will appear before you? It's just so that everything you're doing, the whole world now knows is a sham. And so you have now destroyed a very fundamental aspect of constitutional stay of a state by removing him or doing all that hasty. So everybody knows that you're wasting time. Unfortunately, people they appoint to this position don't know the virtue of resignation. Otherwise, they will resign because you're making them to look like people who you set up to use them to do what is wrong.
Yeah. The part where he says they were seeking reforms. He said when we wanted to bring on board reform to our traditional institution, that the former emir did not cooperate with that. He says the reason why they wanted that reform was so that other parts of Kano can be developed. I'm wondering, what happened to the local government systems?
The government systems.
Is must you develop it along Emirates? Is it not supposed to be along local government areas that you? Well, these are
diversionary speeches to bring the public to believe that what they are doing is right.
These are the issues. Yes, all right, then you also have this other story here in the Vanguard newspaper. Reps blame presidency for influx of fake products. Speaker of the House of Representatives on Monday attributed the pile of fake products and adulterated products in the country to the decision of the presidency to keep the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, and the National Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, off the country's ports. The Speaker of the House, Representative Femi Bajabiamila, Speaker of the House of Reps, Femi Bajabiamila, was represented by Minority Leader of the House, Ndudi Elumelu, at a public hearing held by the Joint Committee on Commerce, Industry and Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values. The reason why we're holding this public hearing today is because of the decision of the federal government to remove SON and NAFDAC from our ports. This has made our country a dumping ground for all kinds of fake products. We are therefore using this occasion to call on the federal government to rescind the decision to ban NAFDAC and SON from our airports and ports. He said. On his part, chairman of the Joint Committee probing the issue of the provision of fake drugs and other products in the country, Rep. Femi Fakeye, said the task of his committee will be to ensure that counterfeit products are stopped from circulating in the country. In any which ways, they said SON and NAFDAC has been removed from the ports and the airports, and that's why the inflow of fake products have increased and adulterated products.
It's most appalling to hear such, that SON and NAFDAC have been removed. Then who takes charge of checking products that are what should come in and what should go back? And that means the presidency, as they are blaming them, is very culpable. For me, I think you should give these particular two agencies, as far as the issue of verifying the quality or otherwise of products, the leeway to continue of being in any place at all to check such. But when you said they shouldn't go, anything that happens, you bear the brunt.
All right, Honorable Jerome.
It's disturbing to even hear. If a Standard Organization of Nigeria is not, if they don't have office at ports and both the seaport and the airports, where else would they have office? Because virtually all the products that come to Nigeria come through these processes, and then their duty is to ensure that there's adequate control through verification, at least ensuring that quality is kept. So if you remove them, NAFDAC is not there to look at drugs and other related products, and then Standard organizations holistically. So where would they be? Where are those receiving salaries? Where are they staying? They stay in the office in Abuja and Lagos or wherever, and then the field work
maybe
is not
they are
done.
the borders.
Yeah, they are the borders. And then how many products? Most of the products coming to borders are coming through illegal entry, which the security architecture could handle. But when you talk of ensuring that the standard is kept in terms of quality control, you can't do without the Standard Organization of Nigeria at the seaport and airport. You can't do without NAFDAC, the drugs will take, which is human life. So why would the presidency keep them? This is disturbing.
All right. Okay, your thoughts, Emi Fiahaga?
Yes, for me, who is supposed to check suitability for consumption? Is it not the same agencies? The who is supposed to check standard? It's the same agency. So if you remove them from the point of duty, then where are you taking them to? Taking them to Rumaholu, or we are taking them to where? To check what? I think if the presidency have removed them from that point of duty, they should return them back. For them to protect us. You don't just allow Nigeria to be a dumping ground for what badly done. And also there are much of these fake products that are produced among Nigerians too. They should also check the one that is within in order to keep us safe. So let's also have things that are standard.
All right. Dr. Sage,
What you see is a result of lack of holistic planning. When the acting president then made this order for ease of doing business at the airports and said they will reduce the number of agencies, which Nigerians have been crying for. There are too many agencies, uniformed agencies at the airport or seaports, reduce them. Now, that was a good idea that you made that order, but in doing that, you would have made an alternative. For instance, every good that is brought in, create an office for them, warehouse maybe 2 kilometers off the airport. You go there and test them before they move into town. You didn't do that. So we are suffering. That is the challenge we face, not only on that one. You're solving a problem on the road, you create more problem. You're solving in the school, you create more problem. We must begin to be people who have some study base. Our actions, government actions should be based on study. You don't just wake up and take a decision because you have the executive power. Because if you do it, what you wanted to fight comes back and haunts you. What we're facing there.
All right, Igbo group backs reps on arms liberalization. Aligbo Development Foundation, ADF, has expressed support to the House of Representatives' quest seeking to allow Nigerian citizens carry arms for self-defense. ADF said after a thorough assessment of the current security situation in Nigeria and the concomitant mass killing taking place nationwide by terrorists, bandits, Fulani headsmen, and other armed groups, it decided to lead support to the lower chambers initiative. ADF spokesman Abia Onyika, in a statement on Monday, said that the moves by the members of the National Assembly will go a long way in curtailing the excesses of the armed marauders and warlords, since the nation's security agencies have failed woefully to checkmate mass killings going on in several parts of the country. Onyeka stated that ADF is convinced that if such drastic measures were not adopted, the Nigerian state would gradually slide into anarchy and monumental collapse, which will snowball into an unplanned disintegration of Nigeria.
Well, for me, I think such policy, if it comes into existence, is very incendiary. It's not something you should do. America, where they have the liberalization of arms, carry arms and all that, self-defense, what is going on there? Not to talk of where we've not developed, we've chosen not to be mature, and then you allow such. So for me, the Igbo group also want to join the ranks of those who wants to be given arms so that they can defend themselves, and in defending yourself, you will be killing others and all that. Nigeria will run into a chaos if such is allowed.
All right. Honorable Jerome. Okay.
There's every likelihood for a place to have an amalgam when you allow emotions to override your sense of reasoning. In most of these calls, they are not coming because they want to come. They are coming because government has failed to provide security. Insecurity is very high. But at every point in time, it should be rational. You should think in a way and manner that every citizen will say, look, your thinking is in the right direction. So you should bring ideas that can solve insecurity issues, not liberalization of arms. Because I do not yet people have arms. There are arms everywhere, little boys. Do you have pump passion? Are you sure that the one you have is not shotgun? They discuss it openly. It was not liberalized. It is not liberalized. Now, when you liberalize it, you begin to think of the heinous nature. Do what is adequate to ensure that insecurity is reduced. Emotions to override a sense of reasoning would need to be a little bit rational in making calls.
All right. Amifia Haga.
Yes, in building on what Barrister just said now, because he has said most of the things that I would have said. And for me, my major concern in that call is that conscious stereotype of an ethnic group. You know, it's created, to create another stigmatization of those persons. I don't think it's right. We should be using killers, herdsmen, because it is not only full and I think it's right. However, I think the call is not appropriate for me. Nigerians were crude-minded, where you allow people to be carrying out arms and all that. We see even local security outfits, what they are doing today. People are crying. Then you allow people to carry arms about. You will just be seeing, dead bodies everywhere. Every day you see two people who will have a matter of assault. Some will just run into that, and they will bring gun and they will shoot. So I think we are not matured for that. That call should be thrown into the dustbin and never to be resuscitated for now.
Dr. C.H. Chinwo, over to you.
I think all of us are agreed on this. One thing to remind those who call for arms when we are reacting to this situation is to also know that if you're not used to it, you can't be used to it. When they give you gun. I remember a case in my community, a man had two double barrel guns. Robbers came in, he didn't even know where the gun was. He didn't know. There are so many many of us who, even if they give you the gun, if you have that conscience, you will drop it no matter how. So it is the same people who are using the guns today, people, except those who are trained for it, licensed for it, for official and use of security of the state. Forget all this issue of liberalizing it. We can't.
Tension in Niger Delta over alleged plan to wind up presidential amnesty program. Ex-militants under the presidential amnesty program, PAP, in the Niger Delta on Monday threatened a showdown with the federal government over an alleged report presented to President Muhammadu Buhari by the interim committee of PAP, advising the president to wind up the program. In a swift reaction to the rumor, ex-militants under phase 3 of PAP, Delta State, led by self-styled General Para, said General Para said beneficiaries were earlier told that the committee was probing contracts executed. The rumor we're hearing from a very reliable source is that the committee has submitted a report to President Muhammadu Buhari asking him to wind up the program. Leaders of ex-agitators do not know anything about cause will not be able to tell the consequences because brains are boiling in the region. We made efforts to meet with the committee when they came in, but our request was turned down. Again, our monthly stipends were paid once in 3 months under this committee, but we kept quiet in expectation of a better outcome. I urge all ex-agitators to be on the alert because there is a breach of the disarmament agreement on part of the federal government if this rumor is true.
Unfortunately, that is what one gets when one allows maybe something of a child of necessity to come in without thinking.
And go to an adult.
Yes, because the assistance now, I had said it earlier on, there's nothing absolutely to give to stop this amnesty program now. It's very difficult. Anytime federal government takes a move to stop that, they will come up with bombing this infrastructure here and there, and they will capitulate. Look at what the general is saying, that the brains are boiling in that region just because perhaps they heard that, yes, there's going to be a stop. It's a suggestion. Federal government has not even taken their own decision. So for me, I think they should come up with a way and then dialogue on this issue in a better way. Because amnesty program will not last forever, for goodness sake. Does it mean that the program will hold Nigeria to ransom? There should be why something is established and then a time, a duration for it to end. But why will any move at all will now galvanize them into using their guns to say, no, we are not going to accept this? I don't understand.
All right. Honorable Jerome Okere.
I will agree with that general completely. Because it's a yes or no answer. Why I said I will agree is because when Dr. Chinwo talked about a holistic program and planning, if you lack that and then you plunge yourself into a faulty foundation, it's difficult to solve. Amnesty cannot be stopped. You can't stop it again. What federal government should do now is they should begin to draw out a program to make them staff. You have to convert them because you can't pay them for this number of years, and after a while you say you are no longer paying those boys who do not have work. Some of them I know. They sit down and they have the receive salary, and then by the time you are not paid, they are in trouble. They are walking along the street asking for 1,500. Now, government should rationalize that. Either bring a program to reduce the salary and then convert them as permanent staff. Nobody will come to this place and support the stoppage of this program because you are going to plunge Nigeria into another pandemic. A very serious issue the federal government may not be able to control. So I agree in totality with the general that the brains that is boiling. And that nobody can stop it. Yes, they are boiling and nobody can stop it. Nobody, federal government shouldn't dare it. They should convert them to staff and pay them salaries.
Emifia Haga, let's get your thoughts on this.
For me, I will ask questions. When will federal government or governments at all levels stop encouraging criminality? when we government stop promoting deviance and disdainfully ignoring conformists? How long shall we continue on this path that government will have programs and money set aside for people who commit crimes against states, while those who have decided to be obedient and to be conformist are never considered in any programs? I think for me, if they should continue with that amnesty, the blood and the brain that will boil will be larger than the one that is boiling now.
All right.
Because you are encouraging other Niger Delta people and the youth to also carry arms for them to be recognized in budgetary in Nigeria. Because this thing is really annoying.
All right. Got your thoughts there. Real quickly, Dr. C.J. Chinwa.
Well, it's there's something, the products of we raising a serpent as a pet in your house. You are in danger. But the question I want to ask is, if the federal government conceived of converting Boko Haram people who say they are repentant, putting them into the army, why didn't the federal government consider bringing in youths from Niger Delta into the army and navy and all that? And we're paying the price now. Our army cannot fight Creek War. These are the boys who would have trained amphibious brigades who will be able to fight and you thought that you are undoing them. You're undoing yourself. These are the people who would have been able to know how to counter any attempt to blow up pipelines and all that. You didn't use them. For whatever purpose, you thought you were doing the Niger Delta, you were suffering it. And then people would reason, if you did that for the northern group, you refuse to do it, this is the only way they can survive. Because the only way we had access to oil in Niger Delta is when boys started breaking pipeline. So you just want to encourage. But otherwise, I would say amnesty is not supposed to be a thing to last beyond a particular time. The government should be able to devise things quickly and solve this problem.
I just want to read this real quickly. The last story, but unfortunately we don't have time. It's 9:04. NIMC enrolls 900 repentant Boko Haram members. It says the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has said it has enrolled 900 repentant Boko Haram members. Director General CEO of NIMC, Engineer Aliu Aziz, disclosed this in a statement issued by the head of corporate communications, Mr. Kayode Adegoke, yesterday in Abuja. He noted that the commission works in partnership with the defense headquarters to provide reliable and secure data of repentant and reintegrated members of Boko Haram through the Operation Safe Corridor Advisory Committee. The commission, as a strategic partner in the current efforts at tackling security challenges in the country, has provided a credible platform to enroll and issue the national members and also verify data as that when needed. As much we can.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello and good morning. Here's a news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Annie Abdul Salam. There are indications that Aisha Buhari security aides will face a panel that will be set up by the leadership of the police this week. This follows a shooting at the presidential villa involving Usman Shugaba, the aide-de-camp to the first lady, and other security agents attached to her. Reports say the affected security aides will not be restored to the wife of the president following their involvement in an altercation with a personal assistant and nephew of the president, Sabiu Yusuf. IGP Adamu security aides who accompanied her to Yusuf's residence. Besides the ADC, who is a chief superintendent of police, others arrested were the escort commander, deputy superintendent of police Sharif Kazim, who is the son of ex-IG Hafiz Ringim, and 4 riot policemen who were at the scene of the incident. Some minor traditional rulers are sponsoring banditry in Katsina State, the home state of President Muhammadu Buhari. This is according to the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, who was explaining the reasons for the hike in violence attacks in Katsina State. Speaking on a television program, Shehu said some traditional rulers have been found complicit in collaboration with bandits to harm their own people. From contesting in the primary election of the All Progressives Congress in Edo State, Governor Wike will be disqualified from contesting an election, while the Governors Forum folds its hand and also silent when his security aides were removed from him years back. The governor also noted that he will be happy restrictions held services for their followers up in the mountains. Officials in Milange district close to the border Wash your hands frequently with soap under running water.
The Four Boys.
You don't wake up one day and say,
Studio, and of course, we have a guest, a wonderful guest in the